Hey everybody, today I'm out at the New York Auto Show and Porsche has brought along the all-new Macan EV. For me at least, this is the most exciting vehicle here at the New York Auto Show. A, because it looks fantastic, but B, because Porsche says they're going to be making a whole lot of Macan EVs. This is integrated into the Macan lineup, and basically if you want the high-performance Macan in America, it's going to be the EV right here. And they're saying that it's not just going to be a high-performance Macan, it's going to be built on the same assembly line as the regular Macan model, so they should be able to build just about as many as people are interested in. It is, of course, a Porsche 800-volt electric vehicle. So we get fast charging, 270 kilowatts peak charging. It is one of the fastest charging EVs available in North America. But interestingly, they have said it will probably live with the CCS connector in this generation. Moving around, you'll notice it has a really sleek design. It doesn't look exactly like a Macan on the outside, but it's still instantly recognizable as a member of the family and still instantly recognizable as a Porsche. As we come around here to the back, you'll notice we get lots of dramatic lines in the rear with a focus on aerodynamics. This actually has a very 3D texture here with the light bar in the back, really well integrated turn signals, etc. Nice and slim design there. Let's go ahead and find the power hatch button. It's right there just above the turbo. Now, one word about that turbo moniker. Some folks have been a little bit offended by having a turbo badge on an electric car. For Porsche, they say it's a trim level. So just like you have turbo in the regular lineup of vehicles, it will be basically the same in the electric lineup. Let's find out what's under the floor. Nothing going on under the floor other than the Burmester audio system right there, so big subwoofer down there. Obviously, lots of storage. We have levers to fold the rear seat backs from the cargo area. 40-20-40 folding seat backs right there. Now, if we move back on over to the front of the Macan, much like we find in the Taycan, if you have the key fob with you and you pet your Porsche gently, the front trunk lid opens, which is a really cool touch. Now, I'm not going to show you what's in there because, of course, this one is staged for the auto show, so it has a charger bolted to the battery there, so that way the lights and everything keep working. But that's a really cool touch. As is the really cool Porsche key. Just like we've seen in other Porsche models, it's shaped like a car, which is kind of cool. It is, a bit more Taycan shaped than Macan shaped, but kind of okay with that. Also Taycan-like is the headlight design. Now this up here is not actually the headlight, this is the turn signal and daytime running light module. The headlight, that's actually below, but it really does give this that classic Porsche design that you'd expect. Now let's take a look at the inside because there are definitely elements of Taycan in here as well. Much like the Taycan, we get Porsche's latest multi-screen infotainment system. In the middle of everything, we have the main infotainment display, but of course we have the passenger side display as well. And over time, Porsche has added more and more functionality to the passenger side display. The Taycan was one of the first vehicles in the world to offer a passenger display, and this certainly brings a lot more logic to the extra screen that we get in the dashboard. Obviously, we have the ambient lighting strip running across the dash, giving it a really clean and modern look, but Porsche hasn't forgotten some of the classic details, like a second hand right up here on the clock in the middle of the dashboard. Over here on the driver's side, we have a curved OLED screen, very similar to what we find in the Taycan, of course, as well. And then a very similar Porsche steering wheel also. So big grips up there, nice leather wrap design, controls for the multifunction display. We have some drive mode selectors right there. And then we have the adaptive cruise control stock on that side. In the middle of everything, we get a slightly different design to some of the other Porsches available in the US. These are the automatic climate controls, heated and ventilated seats. We also get a power volume knob right there for the infotainment system. The ambient lighting extends to the center console area. Two big cup holders there. And as you can see, we get very sporty seats with the turbo badge right there on them. Travis is hanging out there in the back. Go ahead and wave to us, Travis. He doesn't have a microphone on, but looks like he has reasonable headroom there. And of course, we get the big sheet of glass up on top of that. I really am digging the seat designs here. Let me know what you guys think about that. And then of course, we get a storage area right there in the center of everything. As you'd expect, Porsche is going to have a bunch of different wheel and tire options. This particular one has 22-inch wheels, and these are 295 with tires. There's a lot of horsepower to harness here. It's going to start with 402 horsepower, go all the way up to 630 horsepower. Now, those are the overboost numbers. If you don't have the overboost mode engaged, then the horsepower totals are going to be just a little bit lower than that. But this is right in keeping with what I think is probably the most direct competitor in the US right now, and that would be the new Polestar 3. Polestar 3 is, of course, bigger than this, so it kind of is more of an electric Cayenne than an electric Macan competitor, but price-wise, it's going to be a little bit closer to the Macan. And that's probably the one thing that folks should keep in mind. This is still a Porsche, and it's still going to have Porsche pricing on it. So let me just roll through the base prices here on this model. It's going to start at $78,800. If you want the 630 horsepower turbo trim, that's going to start at $105,300, but it's going to get you 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds, of course. That is going to be quicker than you will find in the Polestar lineup with the Polestar 3, I should say. Now, we don't know exactly how this drives in comparison with the Polestar 3 yet, but I would expect this also to be a little bit firmer, because the Polestar 3 actually surprised me in the suppleness of its ride. This is probably going to be a little bit more performance focused, something we'll really notice based on the tires and wheel sizes available. But as we've also seen in other Porsche models, it's going to offer more personalization and more customization available than we'll find in that Polestar lineup. So if you want your Macan to be any particular shade of whatever color you can imagine, you can pay Porsche enough and they will paint it that particular color. That's one of the things we don't find in a lot of luxury brands, but it's certainly something that you get with the Porsche logo on the hood. Just be prepared to pay well into the 6 figures for the honor of having a custom colored Macan. Let me know what you think about all that down there in the comments section below, and would you honestly cross-shop this with a Polestar 3? Polestar is really trying to be the Porsche alternative, but for some people, nothing is going to match the original. Let me know what you think about all that, and check out our related coverage from the New York Auto Show. And of course, stay tuned, because hopefully we will be driving a Porsche Macan just as soon as we can. See you later.